Hi, my name is Mick Matthews, Senior Programme Officer for the Network of Sex Work Projects, NSWP, the Global Sex Worker Network. Welcome to the fourth in the NSWP Global Fund Basics series. This one is on the Global Fund Strategy 2023 to 2028. The title of the Global Fund Strategy for 2023-2028, which I will refer to in this video as the strategy, is Fighting Pandemics and Building a Healthier and More Equitable World. The vision of the strategy is a world free of the burden of AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, with better, equitable health for all. And the strategy mission is to attract, leverage, and invest additional resources to end the epidemics of HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria, reduce health inequities, and support attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, also referred to as the SDGs. The strategy will guide the Global Fund investment, approaches and decision making for the next 6 years. It's a 70-page document, and obviously this video, nor the NSWP Smart Guide, can look at everything described in the strategy narrative. But we don't need to. By using this video and the NSWP Smart Guide, we hope you will be able to understand how the Global Fund says it will implement the strategy, how investments will be dispersed at country level, how and who will implement programs, and how and who will make the decisions. The increased emphasis on community leadership, acknowledgement, and commitment to maximise use of community knowledge and experience, and greater emphasis on equity, gender equality, and human rights means the strategy can be an extremely useful tool to enhance the engagement of sex workers in all Global Fund processes. But of course, words are cheap. So slide 2. The Global Fund has drawn on numerous documents and international commitments, including UNAIDS Global AIDS Strategy, Stop TB Partnership Global Plan to End TB, the Rollback Malaria Partnership to End Malaria Strategic Plan, the various WHO plans for HIV, hepatitis, sexually transmitted infections, TB and malaria, the UN political declarations on HIV and AIDS, TB and universal health coverage, and of course the greater involvement of people living with HIV and AIDS, the JIPA principle. Also, including input from the 3 partnership forums that were held and various consultative papers submitted by the global key population networks, including NSWP, who submitted 2 papers. All this and the discussions at the Global Fund Committee level and the board, as well as the Secretariat, led to agreement of the framework, the strategy framework that you see in this slide. The strategy framework diagram basically describes the strategy without any of the details, and the devil is always in the detail. But nevertheless, it is a visual way of understanding the strategy in its entirety. So let's briefly look at what the strategy framework is saying. Slide 3. The primary goal of the Global Fund Strategy 2023 to 2028 is to end AIDS, TB and malaria. This has always been the main reason for the Global Fund to exist, and that has not changed in the new strategy. But in the new strategy, the Global Fund has made a clear statement that it will strive to achieve this by working with and to serve the health needs of people and communities. This is not simply a headline statement, but acknowledges two important things. One, that ending AIDS, TB and malaria is only possible with the full involvement of people and communities, and that includes sex workers. This is the working with part of that statement. The second part, that the health needs of people and communities must be the focus of programs, and that includes criminalised communities such as sex workers. This is the to serve the health needs of people and communities part. So we have the headline, and then we have the statement to back this up. But then how is the Global Fund going to live up to its commitment? So slide 4, which is mutually reinforcing contributory objectives. Well, the theme is continued with the 3 mutually reinforcing contributory objectives and the 1 evolving objective. These are the ways the Global Fund says are necessary to achieve the primary objective. The problem for sex workers is that these activities are already happening in some form or other, and sex workers are left out. So let's look at them. Maximising people-centred integrated systems for health. This is basically about resilient, sustainable systems for health, RSSH, or health system strengthening, with perhaps some investment in community system strengthening, CSS, and reinforcing community-led programming. This will also enable the Global Fund to change the way it funds and supports programs, using Global Fund dollars to support integrating services across different service providers, like community, government, private sector. Ensuring care is people-centred, that is like a one-stop shop service, for example, where HIV testing, sexual reproductive health and rights, mental health services, etc. are available in one place, and that services are tailored to the needs of sex workers, for example, such as operating hours, different providers, locations, types of services, etc. The second one is maximising the engagement and leadership of most affected communities. Leave no one behind. This is a contributory objective that we do need to pay attention to. This is quite a brave commitment from the Global Fund, but the trick will be in making sure that they live up to it. With this contributory objective, the Global Fund will try and create a more supportive environment and processes to enable community leadership to become a reality. And to do this, they will focus on improving communities' inclusion on country coordinating mechanisms, or CCMs, and in oversight and evaluation, evolving the way the Global Fund does its business in country to be more receptive to community-led organisations as service providers, on oversight committees, and as technical expertise advisors. They would do this through the provision of guidelines, tools and practices to support this engagement. Then there is a large commitment, maximising health, equity, gender equality and human rights. Now, this was a core objective 3 of the previous Global Fund strategy for 2017 to 2022. And to be honest, they did not perform very well on this commitment. The problem is the Global Fund has to include this because it's right and it is essential for an effective disease response, but it doesn't translate well at country level or for key populations like sex workers. This is because country ownership means that national laws, policies, practices take precedent over those of the Global Fund. The sub-objectives to this commitment may help, and these are increased investment in programs to remove human rights and gender-related barriers, so more money. Comprehensive sexual reproductive health and rights programs for women and their partners. Advancing youth-responsive programming. Now this one is good in principle and we all support it, but in a real world it does present a number of challenges for sex worker engagement. On the issue of criminalisation, the strategy narrative says this: the Global Fund will catalyse a renewed partnership-wide commitment to confront the criminalisation of communities most affected by the three diseases and support enabling legal and policy environments. We will leverage the partnership's influence and resources to challenge laws, policies and practices that create barriers to effective responses to the three diseases and put the safety and security of affected communities at risk. Now, it remains to be seen how effective the Global Fund will be in implementing these commitments.